I'm the toy hunter. The search is on for American classics. Batman. For a local New Jersey auction.
Sold $80 there, 303, 303. Thank you, sir.
So I'm headed southwest, hoping to find toy gold. 200 for these. Do you have any idea how much this is worth?
3,200.
About $4,000 to $5,000.
You have got to sell me this toy. I'm Jordan Hembrow. They call me the Toy Hunter. Oh, man! This is where you've been hiding everything. I've been collecting and dealing toys for over 25 years. Oh, I was having a toygasm. I scour the country, and I dig deep. Do you know how much I can get for this?
Whoa. Out of a box of junk.
If there's a fortune hidden in your toy chest,
I just touched a $17,000 toy.
I'll find it. These may be toys, but this ain't child's play. In a community known for its all-American flavor, I'm hoping to find some not-so-dusty classics that'll really get eyes popping on the East Coast. My first stop is Wonko's, known for their gaming. But if experience has taught me anything, these guys always have a secret stash. I'm Jordan.
Jordan, pleasure to meet you. I'm Eric.
Eric?
Yep.
Unique to Austin, we're one of the few that actually still deal in secondhand toys.
Heard everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking for like big finds and big collections and everything like that.
Awesome. This is the room you want.
Oh, nice. The famous back room.
Yep.
All right, everyone talks about it, often heard about, never really seen.
A lot of times we'll get vintage pieces that are either damaged or they're in good shape, but I don't think they're gonna sell really quick. And we'll keep those in the back room.
This is the stuff that I really go after. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
Oh. The Dark Sea Destroyer from 1985. The Superpowers line from Kenner was really, really popular, capitalized on the DC action figure line. Is it complete?
Yep. Take it out.
Darkseid was one of Superman's toughest villains, and this toy was his intergalactic weapon of destruction.
Oh. He's the side pods.
The really cool thing about this is the back seat would pull out, and you take them and you slide it in the back. The bottom of the toy would create the handle. So you can, like, you draw around.
Especially with the side pods?
With the side
and
pods.
the extra guys on both sides?
It was like an intergalactic motorcycle with a sidecar.
Yeah.
Besides being big and powerful, this toy is also a Canadian import. And if I find the right specialty buyer, I may just be able to make a couple $100.
There was almost none of these brought to the States.
The vehicle wasn't really popular when it came out.
Right.
But now, on the secondary market, it's getting tougher to find. Do you have any idea what you're looking for on it?
Well, it's priced on the shelf at $100.
At 100?
Yep.
I probably would not be able to do 100 on it. What do you think about 60?
Could you do maybe 70?
Yeah, I will do 70.
Awesome.
Okay?
Sweet.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
This is cool, man.
That's so awesome.
Oh, I'll still kick your ass. Cool. This is Snake Mountain. Vintage Mattel, Masters of the Universe. He-Man had Castle Grayskull.
Yep.
Skeletor, the big bad guy, had Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain was this super cool toy. It had a removable microphone that would make your voice echo. A scary demon-like face whose mouth you could move, and a switch-activated trapdoor. You know what? I've never seen one loose. I've only sold them in the box. When I get these in the box, they sell out all the time, and they sell out for big bucks. Box play sets can go upwards of $500, sealed.
Well, this one's clearly not sealed.
It's a great piece. Normally, I would get it in a heartbeat. You don't have the box, it's loose, missing some pieces and everything like that. So right now, I gotta take a pass on it.
Sure.
2 of them. Now, this stuff is cool. Do you remember Battle of the Planets?
Oh, yeah. I remember them flinging their capes around.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like weapons.
I mean, Battle of the Planets was like Japanese animation that was, imported over to this country. It followed a 5-member superhero team of teenagers called G-Force. They were a bunch of, teenagers. They had cool weapons. They drove around in cool cars that fought to defend Earth and all its space colonies from the threat of the planet Spectra. I was like in 3rd, 4th grade, and I would watch Battle of the Planets when I got home from school.
It's cool because the stories were Japanese anime.
Yeah.
But the translations didn't always work. So things like you talk about the belt, it's like Battle of the Planets. Well, there's nothing in that with the G. Like Speed Racer, because Speed Racer's got a different name on his belt as well. There's no S.
These are surprisingly difficult to find, and they can go for up to $75 each. Would you take 60 for the pair?
That's probably a little lower than I was thinking. What about, say, 75?
You know what? These are unique. They're retro. They bring back a lot of good feelings for the childhood. You don't see them a lot. Yes.
Done.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You got it.
All right.
Let's put those back on the...
Put them in my pile. I'm having a blast with Eric. He has a lot of small ticket items, but I'm still not finding any showstoppers for the auction. Okay. So what you have here, you've got you got vintage Star Wars.
Yep.
I love vintage Star Wars, but you have something in here that trumps Star Wars. The only thing that's better than Star Wars? So I'm in Austin, Texas, delving through toy bins, searching for American classics for an auction I'm gonna be in. And I really thought my first stop was going to be a bust, until I found these. And what trumps vintage Star Wars? Kiss! These are fantastic. This was Mego's first real foray into the rock star scene. You know, it was like their first real attempt at making rock star dolls. Mego is a company that made a name for itself in the 1970s by making action figures and playsets based on big pop culture icons, including popular musicians just like Kiss. All the heads originally were gonna be the same. Mego Corporation wanted to save money, so they're like, hey, Kiss, guess what? You're gonna get dolls. They're all gonna be the same head. And you know, all the members were like, no way.
No.
They all want to be unique. So you know what? Gene Simmons looks like Gene Simmons, okay? Ace Frehley looks like Ace Frehley. Peter Criss looks like Peter Criss. Unfortunately, Paul Stanley, he kind of looks like the captain from The Captain Tennille, because I think that's whose head they used. When toy companies produce dolls or play sets that don't always hit it big, it's not uncommon to reuse them on other toy lines. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay.
What are you looking for the set?
Well, I know new in the box, they'd be about 100 piece. I know they're not in the box. I don't have the boxes or the guitars with them. So, I mean, I'd start at half that, at say 200.
200 for these?
Yeah.
Let me backtrack for a second, okay?
Sure.
To show you that I'm not such a bad guy. New in the box, they're worth more than 100 piece. If you had a complete set of Kiss dolls in the boxes, okay, I would be more than happy to pay you $400. I would be more than happy to pay you as high as $500 if they were mint. These are not. Gene's got a little edge wear, problems with discoloration on his neck. There's a little bit of tape here, some tearing. Paul is missing part of his belt here. I think there's a issue with his knee. It breaks my heart to see toys like this in such disrepair. I really want to get them back to my warehouse and fix them up. But let's see how much of a rock and roll fan Eric really is before I get too attached. How about 75?
Would you go 100?
Yeah, I'll do $100,
Awesome.
okay?
Cool deal, man.
100.
Appreciate it.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going home with the band.
Awesome.
Wonko's Toys turned out to be a great first stop in Austin. I got a pair of Battle of the Planets figures for $75, and I'm hoping to snag 150 for them at the auction. I also got a full set of out-of-the-box Mego Kiss figures, which I paid $100 on. If I can fix these up, I may get as high as $225 for the set. I got the Dark Sea Destroyer in the box for $70. I may have trouble with this since it's a Canadian release, but I'm hoping to get at least $100 for it. Those and half a dozen other superhero toys, and I'm looking at making close to $1,000 if I can find the right buyers. Thanks again.
Jordan?
Okay.
Be good or be good at being bad?
We'll be in touch. I got some really great items for the auction in New Jersey. But while I'm in Texas, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna go see my friend Rebecca. Rebecca's like my ultimate go-to girl down here in Austin, and she has a huge toy collection, but I've never seen it.
Hello.
Hey!
How are you?
How are you, babe?
There's definitely at least 2,000 toys in my house right now, if you count stuffed animals, Glamour gals, Barbie dolls, Care Bears, anything with a face on it.
Andy Gibb.
We've been playing a game with him since I found him.
Okay.
And that game is that I have to leave the room.
Why?
And you have to hide him somewhere. And then, like, weeks later after you're gone,
Hide
I'll
Andy Gibb?
find him. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave now, and you have to hide him.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'm coming back.
You won't find him. So what do you got here? Cabbage Patch.
Actually, I probably have about 50 in my collection.
I never really got into Cabbage Patch. I just never considered them really valuable.
These Cabbage Patch Kids just happen to be rarer than most.
Really?
This one here is from 1987,
Uh-huh.
and she's got a retainer, which is kind of strange.
She's got one tooth.
Yep,
So she needs a retainer for one tooth?
apparently.
As cool as these Cabbage Patch dolls are, I don't think they're the right toys for the auction. They're great pieces, and I do love them. I need something bigger, okay? I need something rare. I need
Okay.
something unique.
What
This one's
about
got a
her?
funky-
Would she do well in your auction?
I'm at my friend Rebecca's house in Austin, Texas, looking for a very special toy.
Would she do well in your auction?
I don't want to speak too soon, but I think I just struck gold. Is this what I think it is? Oh, yeah, she would do well.
It's the very first Barbie doll.
It's Barbie #1.
Yep.
Barbie was created by Ruth Handler, wife of Elliot Handler, who was the co-founder of Mattel. In 1959, Ruth observed that her daughter was actually giving adult roles to her dolls. So she created a fully figured female doll intended for children to purchase. And she named it after her daughter, Barbara. This is Barbie #1. Do you have any idea how much this is worth?
I've got an idea. People all the time call me and say, I have the very first Barbie, and I run over their house, and it's always some later Barbie.
Right.
But the way to tell if you really truly have a #1 Barbie is 9 times out of 10 it is ghost white like this because the pigment faded.
Okay,
When you take down her swimsuit, can I do that?
absolutely. Take
You
down
can
that
see-
swimsuit.
You can see that she's not faded under the swimsuit.
Look at that, so it's flesh tone here.
Yeah, and she was originally flesh tone when she was sold on the shelves for $3 in 1959.
You have got to sell me this toy. What do you want on it?
Well, 3,200.
3,200.
Mm-hmm.
The Barbie is perfect. She's recognizable, classic, and rare. But this price is a lot of money.
But it is a #1 Barbie, 1959, original swimsuit, excellent condition, has the metal tubes in the feet, has all those beautiful, luscious pinky fingers.
I think Rebecca's better at selling toys than I am. Yeah, I can't do 3,200. That's like top retail on this. I gotta make some money. Will you take 2,700?
I could probably take $3,000 even. I don't know if I could go any lower than that.
How about 2,800?
I'll meet you in the middle, 29.
29. Mm-hmm. 2,900.
That's right. And you gotta pay cash.
Okay, 2,900. Yes?
Yep, it's
Yes?
a deal.
Yes? Yay! At Rebecca's, I got a first edition Barbie from Mattel for $2,900. I'm hoping to sell it for about $3,400 at the auction. But I'm not done yet. I have one more big stop to make. So I'm off to see Tim. Now, Tim is a huge Superman collector, and he even used to manage the cast of the Superman films when they did conventions. Not only does he collect, he also sells from time to time.
Hey,
Tim?
how are you? Hello.
How are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
How you doing?
Great. I think Superman's my favorite because he instills all the values that we all want to have. We all want to aspire to be good and be good to people.
This is where you keep it?
This is where I keep it.
This is a fortress of solitude.
It is.
Am I awake? Did I die and go to Krypton? Do you play this?
It does play.
And this brings back such memories for me. I mean, it was done by
It's-
Atari
yeah.
Corporation. And when I think of Atari, I think of the home video games. Bung, 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 you know, Pong.
Space Invaders.
You know, and back then, that was like cutting
Oh,
edge.
man.
Back then. It's like, what? I'm sitting there when I'm like, 12, like, what could be better than Pong? It's never
Really?
gonna get any better than this. What'd you pay on this?
About 4,000.
I'd offer to buy it from you, but I don't think I'd get it on the plane. What's this?
That's actually one of the Chris Reeve capes that he used in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Which movie?
This one here, I'd have to say would be the third one because it's the dark cape. This is a walking cape.
This is walking
The
cape.
walking capes were heavy wool, the flying capes were a thinner gabardine material. Try it on.
How often do you actually see, let alone get a chance to wear one of the costumes from the Superman movies? I kind of feel like Superman a little bit.
You should, you look like you.
Do I? Hang on.
I love
Do
it.
I look like Superman now?
There you go.
This is a classic DC Superheroes Superman puppet put out in 1977. To find one in this good condition is really rare.
Yeah, and this box is as clean as I've seen one.
This is so good.
Yeah.
This is such a wonderful, wonderful piece. Again, Christopher Reeve, 1970s, the quintessential best, the one and only Superman.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm with you.
The funny thing is Reeve wasn't the original choice for the role.
No.
I mean, Paul Newman was offered the role. Robert Redford was offered the role. Let me see, Sylvester Stallone.
He was-
Rocky wanted to do it.
They turned him
They
down.
turned him down. What are you interested in selling this for?
You know, I've never actually sold one in this good a condition.
Okay.
Being a collector myself and a dealer, I'd probably start off at 500 on it.
I understand why you're asking that. I really, really do. I just can't do 500 on that and make any money. I could do probably, and I'm being honest with you, I can do 250.
What about 400?
400 this.
That's 100 off.
I know, I know. I can do 300.
I could meet you halfway and probably do 350, and that's hurting me doing that. So,
350?
yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll do
Wanna do it?
350. Sure.
All right.
And I'm happy about it.
I hope so.
Oh, wow. This is cool. It ain't Superman, it's Batman. Put out in 1975, this may be a simple-looking figure by today's standards. Comic action hero.
Yep.
This was Mego. But this Batman was part of a very colorful line of toys. It's got superheroes, it's got vintage built all right in, it's got the beautiful, beautiful artwork. You've got Batman, Robin, the Joker, the original price tag on it, $1.14.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's great. I'll give you $2. No, I'm kidding. All right. I know Tim loves Superman, but let's see how much he loves Batman. I'd probably put him out at around 150 retail. In an auction, a good auction environment, he might go as high as 225.
Okay.
Okay. How do you feel about $100?
Not 100. I'd probably do 125.
We do 115. Meet me halfway.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
I'm gonna kick myself later for this, but
Don't
oh
kick
well.
yourself. Don't kick yourself. I spent a lot, but cleaned up on some great pieces at Tim's house. I got a Batman Comic Action Heroes figure for $115. And hopefully, I can get around $250 for it. And my big buy, a mint condition Superman puppet for $350. I'd like to get at least $500 for this at the auction. These sales, plus all the money I hope to make off of my other Austin digs, is gonna make my trip a huge success. I'm back in New Jersey at Bodner's Auction, and I'm ready to roll. I even brought my friend Steve along as my good luck charm. Now, this is the auction in New Jersey, so I'm expecting a lot of people to bid on my Texas finds.
Sold for $20 here.
There are a lot of good things and bad things about selling at an auction. The good thing is that you normally would not get a lot of people bidding on your stuff, but all of a sudden, you've got all these different eyes looking at all your product, and that can open up a huge clientele. The bad thing is, it's always a gamble. Some stuff just may never sell.
First up, the Dark Sea Destroyer.
I decided to lead off with a Dark Sea Destroyer because it's a big, fun box. And I thought it would be a good introduction piece to really attract the crowd.
300 about 300 about 300, 200 about 200 about 200, 100, I'm gonna go, 100, I'm gonna
When
go.
I bought that Dark Sea Destroyer, I really wasn't sure if I was gonna make money on it.
75, 80. I got 75 at $80. 75 at $80. 75 at $80. I'm gonna buy 80.
And I think my instincts were right. No one seems interested in it.
90 last call for $90. Sold $80 there. 303, 303.
Next up, Superman Superhero String Puppet.
Superman. Come on, he's gotta sell. I mean, he's Superman, right?
300 about 300 about 300, 2.5, 275, 275, 103 and a quarter, 3 and a quarter, 303 and a quarter. Last call for 3 and a quarter. Sold it for the $300. Absentee buyer number 475.
$300? I actually lost money on Superman? I really thought I'd be doing better at this point in the auction.
You've all been waiting for.
The Barbie doll guy.
The bidding starts, and I can already feel things heating up. First, I see the bidder up front, and at the same time, there's another bidder on the phone really giving her a run for her money. Barbie has got to do well for me to walk away on top at this auction.
Sold 55.
I didn't get off to a great start at the auction.
Sold $120 to $335.45.
And now, the first ever Barbie is up for grabs.
$475. $3,000 and get it going. $3,000 about $3,000 about $3,000 about $3,000 about $2,000 about $2,000.
The bidding starts, and I can already feel things heating up. First, I see the bidder up front. Now, she seems like she really wants this Barbie. And at the same time, there's another bidder on the phone really giving her a run for her money.
$1,700, $2,000, $2,000, $2,100.
I'm not sure which one of these guys is going to win, but I'm having fun watching.
$2,800, $2,900, $2,900, $3,000, $3,100, $3,100, $3,400, $3,500, $3,500, ma'am. Sold for $3,500 right there. All right.
It was a little bit more than I wanted to spend, but it completes my collection and I just love it.
I was a little nervous at first, but in the end, I walked away in the green. When you combine all the auction sales with the other toys I found in Austin, my big Texas trip turned out to be a huge success. All because of a super cool toy, Barbie.
1, 2, 3. How did we do?
We did good, man. We did good. All right, come on, I'll buy you lunch.
Thanks.
It's on me.